It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Hi. Oh, yeah, it's been about a month, I think, since I last did this. But I have my reasons. I don't know if I'm going to go into them right now. I might save it to the end. But, hello. Welcome to fuck knows what episode number, 154, I want to say, of the TEW 2020 Talent Run. We are quite a bit behind real life, but that's fine now, because that was part of the reason I got so stressed and burnt out before. But we're here for SmackDown. The video is still not finished yet. The intro video for SmackDown is not finished yet. But I'm uploading this without doing it because I don't want it to be even longer. But yeah, we're here for SmackDown. I heavily recommend going back to watch the last 3 episodes to catch yourself on what's going on, because I doubt you will remember. Maybe that's underselling myself, actually. Maybe you do. Maybe you have been waiting that eagerly for the return, but I assume you've forgotten everything. I did, so I have end goals in mind, but not where I've already stopped at. So I had to sort of rewatch SmackDown and refresh myself what was going on. But yeah, we're here for SmackDown, week 2, September 2021, on the build to No Mercy. And in case you did forget, got WWE Championship match tonight. Samoa Joe and Sami Zayn, the rematch. I think that's all that we had pre-advertised. And yeah, we're on the road to No Mercy. And I was ahead of real life for a little bit, but now I'm behind by a lot because I took the month off. But I don't really mind, because trying to keep up with the real life schedule was kind of what stressed me out. Like, the second I went like a week or so behind real life schedule, I started to panic, and I was getting wider stressed, and like I just completely got burnt out by the game. I had a couple of like mental relapses. Obviously I started Twitch, which sort of took up my time for that moment, and most of the rest of the time was spent being depressed or whatever. But we're back in the swing of things now. I actually enjoyed writing out the notes for this show, which is a good sign that we're back. And work's also been quite hectic. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into SmackDown. Hear ye, hear ye. Indy Hartwell says to open the show, as she's reading like a decree, a royal decree. It's like, you're all cordially invited to, and the rest of the women's division is scattered around ringside. So it's just the entire women's division. You've got Indy, you've got Dana and Mickey in there as well, but I can't put them on screen because of limits. They're like, hear ye, get onto your feet and rise and applaud for your queen and your SmackDown Women's Champion, Queen Sasha. She's coming out here and she's got a lot she wants to say. Because she's like, look, I became the Queen of the Ring because I am the best damn woman in this division. And I now have not only the crown, but the SmackDown Women's Championship to prove that. And some people, I'm not going to name their names, Sonya Deville, but there's some people in this division that don't seem to give me the respect that I deserve as your royalty. And this is my official royal decree. We're going to take a vote and we're going to see who wants Sonya Deville banished from the SmackDown Women's Division. Sonya is the only woman from the SmackDown Women's Division who's absent, so like she's arranged the entire SmackDown Women's Division to like sort of speak on it, and then the first person up is Bianca Belair, and she's like, "Girl, like I hate Sonya as much as you do, sis, but you're just abusing your power." I mean, who'd have thought that Sasha Banks abusing her power? Who'd have ever imagined this is how her queen's reign would have gone? But here we are. But Sonya has a right to get at you because, quite frankly, you deserve it. And as much as I may not like Sonya and we may not see eye to eye, then you're not going to banish her. I think you're running scared of Sonya. And Sasha's like, no, you know what? Get this bitch off the microphone, right? We don't want to hear from her. Let's get all the next woman up. And it's Bayley. And Sasha's like, ugh. And it's like, well, what can I say that Bianca didn't just say other than, you know, I'm not going to ever do what you want me to do, Sasha. You can be my queen all you want. I'm never going to listen to you again. You've burnt me too many times. No confidence. And Sasha's like, oh, fuck you. And next up is Candice, and Candice is like, well, I'm all for banishing Sonya Deville from the SmackDown Women's Division. And Sasha's like, yes, queen, here we go. And then Bayley sort of just shakes her head. She's like, you know, unlike Bayley, I aspire to be a true role model here, and Sonya Deville coming out at attacking our queen, it's not a good mindset and good role model to look up to. And we need to cut that out. And maybe give her opportunity to wrestle for the championship to somebody else in the division. And then now you're seeing why Candice is doing it. It's like, you know, Candice, thank you for your... Oh, that's Windows 11 for you. I don't advise, if you do have the ability to update your computer, I don't advise doing it. Anyway, so then Candice has given her, then Sonya Deville comes out next. And then all the other women are like... Some of them are trying to stop her, but there are some people there, like Bianca and Bayley, that are just looking away like, oh, we'll let her pass. And Shotzi and Ember join in, and they've heard enough of the Queen. They charge, they try and take Sasha off her podium, but the three other members of Boss are there to fight them, and the three babyfaces take them down as Sasha runs away. And just Sasha trying to stir shit up, really, to open SmackDown with her royal decree. 70 rating. The Street Profits defeat the Viking Raiders in Fire 43. Montez Ford pins Eric with a frog splash. He breaks his fingers, but he should be able to still work through that. 67 for Angelo Dawkins, 73 for Montez Ford, 65 for Eric, and a 68 for Ivar. I definitely click next match. Well, next segment even, because it's not a match. It's a 1 minute Smile and Shine vignette, because they're not booked for the show tonight, because I was fully booked. So they're just sort of what they're all about, bringing smiles and shines, and how their friendship is going to take them to the the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. We then get Matt Riddle, who debuted last week on SmackDown. He interrupted Elias, and he sort of welcomed himself to SmackDown, but now he's here to explain why he's here. Like, bro, ever since I came to NXT, bro, I was like totally like the best guy down there, because I'm a real bro, unlike the people up here. I'm a real fighter, and I can kick your ass, bro, and I've had one mission and one mission only, that's to retire Brock Lesnar, bro, and I gotta get my foot in the door to be able to work my way up to Brock. And it's no disrespect to Elias, bro, it's not my fault if music sucks, bro, dude, but I'm here to play my Stallion song and kick his head in, bro, and move my way up the ranks here on WWE. And Elias has heard enough. He sneaks in behind him and he smacks him with his guitar. And he's like, how dare you interrupt my beautiful music? I got isolated from my friends in the draft, and now I'm interrupted by people like this. How disrespectful. 55 rated segment. Eric and Ivar are, after their match, they return to their locker room. And they're talking about, because they lost last week to the Mysterios, and now they've just lost to the Street Profits. They're like, something's not right, Eric. And they open the door, and there's a note just chilling in their locker room. I'm like, hey, what's this? Did you leave this? He's like, no. And they shut the door. We can't see what the note says. They don't read it out loud. But they sort of just look at it, shut the door, and yeah, seem interested in what the note says. 76. Randy Orton defeats Dominic Mysterio in 650 with an RKO. A nice match just to get Dominic in there with a veteran and give Randy a win. 83 for Randy, 62 for Dominic. After the match, Rey Mysterio's in the ring and he's like, unlucky son, you nearly had him. Because it was open, so he did actually get quite a bit of offense on Randy. I probably would have done one big near fall where you thought you had him. And then Randy's, of course, not had enough of this. He RKO's Rey Mysterio as well. Tosses him to ringside. Drops Dominic again with another RKO and he lines up for a punt in the corner. As Dominic gets to his knees and he's in position for the punt and everyone's like, no, Randy, don't punt Dominic Mysterio. He runs towards Dominic, but Big E slides out of nowhere and he scoops him up on his shoulders for a big ending. He drops Randy with the big ending. And then he starts shouting about, oh, you fucking bitch, Randy, come on, my guy, come on. As he checks on Dominic. Drew Gulak with another banging promo. He gets another 85. And he's issuing another open challenge. Last week it was answered by Dio Madden, who used to be of the Hurt Business. Now he's here on SmackDown as a singles guy. And Dijakovic answers this week and he says, I would love nothing more than to prove my worth here on the show to become United States Champion. Then Mansoor also went up, so he's like, last week I made my SmackDown debut. I got unlucky. I came up just short against you, Dijakovic, but I'm sure if you gave me one more chance, I could take this victory and I could prove that I belong here on SmackDown. And Dio Madden also comes out and he wants another shot at Drew Gulak. And long story short, you know how this goes. It's WWE. We've got a Fatal 4-Way United States Championship match up next. And that gets a fucking 80. I think Drew Gulak might be really good. He gets an 86. Mansoor gets a 43, 68 for Dio, and a 70 for Dijak. But it is Gulak who retains. He submits Manny with the Gulak at 11:25 and to make defense number 2 of the US title. Gulak was head and shoulders above everyone else in the ring. Mansoor was the weak link because he is the newest. So, yeah, this is SmackDown's United States Championship scene at the minute. And Drew Gulak has captured a victory to retain his championship here tonight. But then he's jumped from behind by the message. Dalakato drops him. Big choke slam to the floor. Ali 450. Kushida. Actually, no, yeah. Kushida would have him locked in like the armbar. Yeah, as Ali's talking to him, Gulak's trying to fight out of the armbar, and he's like, Drew, from one 205 Live alumni to another, it truly does make me proud to see where you've become, what you've become, and where you've come. And that's my championship, and you won it off me at SummerSlam, and you got your feel-good moment, and people finally started to realise how good you are, but you've just taken things back to the status quo here. Good little mid-card hand, good little champion to feel good, and to make sure that United States Champion isn't called Mustafa Ali anymore, but the message isn't over until I say it is. So you've got your little moment, but at No Mercy, I'm getting my moment again. And I'm taking back my title. And there's nothing you can do about it, good Drew. Because this message will be delivered either way. Another backstage promo. Murphy and Priest bump into each other backstage again. Because last week they both came to SmackDown. And they're both former disciples of Seth Rollins. And then Priest's like, buddy, what are you doing? Just chill. He's like, I'm waiting for my opportunity here on SmackDown. I did come over here and, I'm glad I came over here because this is where the WWE Championship is. And as a former WWE Champion, I don't think I got my fair shake. And I'd quite like to get it back and prove that I belong at the top of WWE. Damian Priest's like, I also would like to become WWE Champion here on SmackDown. And whether that means I've got to go through you or not, I've been mad respect to you. We never fell out and we're still cool, but if I've got to go through you to do it, then I don't mind, buddy. Buddy's like, feelings mutual, buddy, mate. And then scoffing from off screen. And then the camera pans around and the Usos are there. And they're like, you two want to be WWE Champion. Get to the back of the line, Oos. You got a long, long, long line of challenges ahead of you, Oos. But I wish you luck anyway. And they pat him on the shoulders and leave. And they're like, what the fuck are those guys on about? They're tag team champions, not WWE champion. What the fuck does this got to do with them? There we go. 89. I knew this was going to bang. In 10 minutes, we just send Cesaro and Kevin Owens out there to have a banger. And Cesaro gets the win in 10 minutes and 8 seconds. He submits Kevin Owens with the sharpshooter. 85 for Cesaro, 84 for Kevin, 89 for the match. Nicely done. And Cesaro celebrating after the match when he's jumped from behind by Bobby Roode. Of course, he's in a suit or something. He undoes his cuffs, drops Cesaro with a glorious DDT, shouts about how glorious he is, and about how Cesaro is jealous of him, and how dare he swing him last week when he was trying to deliver a heartfelt goodbye to his old friend Dolph Ziggler. We then get a backstage segment. Bayley's sort of just chilling, because she was in the opening segment. She's obviously changing out of her ring gear. She's like, I'm not wrestling tonight. She's getting her stuff ready to leave when Johnny Gargano walks in, of all people. He's like, Bayley, I know, look, I'm probably not the first person you want to see here, but I just need to chat to you real quick. Like, Candice, you've been her role model for years now. And you are for a lot of women. And that's a good thing, Bayley, and you don't need to lose sight of that. Because Candice, she's working her hardest to try and be like you used to be when you were the SmackDown Women's Champion for over a year. That's what Candice wants to become. That's the Bayley she looks up to. Nobody likes this, Bayley. Come on. You've lost your way. I've lost my way. Candice, she knows her way. Maybe think about it. After that, we then cut to Bobby Roode walking through the backstage hallway. Then Caleb walks up to him. He's like, Roode, Bobby, can you explain your actions on Cesaro? It's like, what is there to explain? Kayla, last week, Cesaro took issue for me because I'm better than Dolph Ziggler, and I sent Dolph Ziggler home to go work bingo halls with his brother. But Cesaro, he took exception to that, and he decided he was going to come in the ring and try and embarrass me. But I don't get embarrassed like that, Kayla. Nobody embarrasses the glorious one. I know what Cesaro's issue is. He's jealous because I've got it. He doesn't have it. For years, people have been chanting about how Cesaro should be WWE champion. No, he shouldn't. Cesaro hasn't got it like I've got it. You're looking at the megastar here on SmackDown. It's not Cesaro, it's me. It's Bobby Roode. There's a reason Cesaro stopped wearing the suits. Because he knew that wasn't enough to make him cool. I'm cool. I'm glorious, I've got it. Cesaro is a loser. He's just a little wrestler, and he'll never make it and be as glorious as I am. Kayla. Peyton Royce is then in the ring. She's like, alright. Last week, me and Billy, we had a match here on SmackDown. And it didn't go quite as well as we thought it was going to. So I'm here. I won a singles match tonight to prove that Peyton Royce, she's iconic. And it's just a blip for the tag team. And her match is against Santana Garrett, and she loses it. Santana rolls her up in 4 minutes with a quick roll-up. 44 for Santana and a 49 for Peyton Royce. How fucking embarrassing that is, mate. And then we then cut backstage to Mansoor chilling. When his best friend DMA is like, hey Manny, look at us. He's like, hey Dio, how you doing? It's like, you did really good last week against Gulak. We did good tonight. I'm sorry you could have been WWE champion, but United States champion, but I lost for you. It's my fault. I'm just sort of getting my feet here on SmackDown, and I don't really know what to do next. And Dio's like, I may have been on here a little bit longer than you have. I may have come close last week to becoming United States champion, but don't get yourself down, buddy. I'm getting my feet here on SmackDown too, and the more allies we have, the more chance we have of succeeding. And Manny's like, what are you saying, my guy? He's like, we've been friends since we met in the PC, and now we're both here on SmackDown. What do you say to good old tag team? And Manny's like, let me think about that, Dio. So We may have a best friends planting seeds for a friendship here on SmackDown. Another subculture vignette, 1 minute, just quickly who they are, their backstory, them walking through the streets of Britain, Wales, wherever they're from. And they're coming to SmackDown. 65. Peyton goes into the Iconics locker room after a loss, and Billy's like, "Wow, good fucking job, mate. You sure showed me. You know, we lost last week, and you came into me, you're like, maybe Billy Kay, maybe you ain't got it. Maybe Peyton Royce is the iconic one here. Now you've lost as well, mate. So, maybe Billy Kay's the iconic one." Peyton's like, "Well, you fucking try next week and try and get a dub yourself, mate." She's like, "Alright, I will." So Billy Kay will be in action next week. We then get the quick 1 minute segment hyping up the Mixed Match Challenge. And the matches this week are Morrison and Monet versus Big E and Tegan, and Bray Wyatt and Susie versus Cesaro and Bayley. Can I get an 82B for this main event? WWE Championship rematch, Sami Zayn against Samoa Joe. Sami Zayn defeats Samoa Joe in 11:48 with a roll-up to make defense number 1 of the WWE title. Sami gets an 83, Joe gets a 77. That's the end of SmackDown. Or is it? Because Sami Zayn, being the respectful man that he is, he offers a handshake to Samoa Joe, and Joe sort of looks at him confused, because Joe's been a bit of a dickhead to him recently. And he goes to... You sort of feel like he might be about to shake Sami's hand and, you know, respect him, when all of a sudden... Paul Heyman accompanies Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, and the Usos to the ring. And Samoa Joe, he's not happy. He wants to fight Roman Reigns. He tries to charge at Roman Reigns down the ramp, but the Usos and Fatu jump him. And then Roman calls for the ring pad to be, or the ringside mats to be pulled up to expose the concrete. And they deliver the big power bomb that they delivered to Seth Rollins at SummerSlam to take Joe out. And then Roman Reigns enters the ring. And he takes a microphone, but then he hands it to Heyman. And Heyman's like, "Sami, congratulations on finally realizing your dream. You shocked the world. You really proved that you were the underdog of the underground when you became WWE champion against all odds. You took down the mighty badass Samoa Joe, and you became WWE champion in spite of everybody that told you that you'd never make it to the top. And it's been a fun ride for you, Sami. But that ride comes to an end at No Mercy when you defend the WWE Championship against your tribal chief, Roman Reigns." Drops mic. And then Roman just sort of stares at Sami, arms crossed, as Sami holds his belt up, not backing down from the chief, to end the show. 88's actually really good. The Owens and Cesaro match banged. The main event was decent, but not compared to that. And then we have our main event set for No Mercy. Sami Zayn defends the WWE Championship against the Tribal Chief. And now we move on to the Mixed Match Challenge. Yeah. Mixed Match Challenge time, and standard 10-minute filler segment, because the shows are an hour long and I can't be asked to turn off booking times because I will forget to put them back on. So, 10-minute Raw recap to open the show, between the shit that went down with Drew McIntyre, Jeff Hardy and The Fiend, the women's title stuff with Becky, Io and Kyrie, and the stuff with the Kofi Xavier Woods IC title shenanigans. We then hear from our teams for tonight. 66 because I rated everybody, including the two women, Morrison and Frankie Monet against Big E and Tegan Nox. And a 74, Big E and Tegan defeat Frankie Monet and John Morrison when Tegan pins Frankie with the Vulture Culture Destroyer. 83 for Big E, 76 for Morrison, 60 for Frankie, and a 56 for Tegan. So that's actually pretty good, to be honest. And they advance to face the winner of the next match. But before that, it's our 10-minute Raw, not Raw, SmackDown recap, including the WWE Championship main event and the Roman Reigns stuff from post-match, the women's title decree, and then the Big E Randy Orton shit. And then Susie and Bray Wyatt do a Funhouse-like promo to hype up their mixed match against Bayley and Cesaro, who sort of, like, are respectful and, like, are gonna be good at wrestling. What the fuck? This match gets an 89! To be fair, Bray got a 92, 86 for Cesaro, 74 for Bayley, and a 62 for Susie. And Cesaro and Bayley pick up the win, because it's Bray Wyatt and Susie and not The Fiend and Su Yung. Bayley pins Susie with the headlock driver to advance to face Big E and Tegan Nox in the next round. And that is the end of the Mixed Match Challenge. Night 2, it gets a 90! Fucking hell! It got better than SmackDown. And yeah, that's the end of the show now. So do let me know what you thought in the comments below. It's been a while, so I'm still sort of getting all back used to it. I promise Raw won't be a month. I'm going to try and actually get back on schedule, because I do still want to catch up to real life, but I'm not stressing about it like I was before. But yeah, I still want to sort of like grind out more, because a lot of my best stuff is in season 4, and I wasn't going to let it die, because this is the exact same show. Like in 2016, Challenge Run died on September week 2 after Friday, September week 2, which would have been this exact show here. And yeah, it just so happened to be the exact same time I took a month off. But we're back now. So let me know before in the comments below. Put your welcome back on, and we missed you so much. Do go follow the Twitch if you are interested in just me playing anything. TEW will become on there eventually, but I don't really want that to be solely like... I sort of want to build up my own Twitch sort of thing before I bring TEW in, so I'm making it like, oh, this is a TEW Twitch streamer. I'll be, oh, he does all sorts of shit, but also TEW sometimes. But there will be TEW on there at some point, so you'll know. And yeah, I think that's about everything, and I'll see you next time for Raw. See you then.